Hello, lovely ones. This is a little bit of time together. We want to talk about something that is important for us to help to steer the ship that we call me through this life journey with a little bit more ease, a little bit more flow. Really important for us to gain some awareness of how we're moving our being through this life journey. And I say it like that because it is a journey. And it has the sense of us moving through from this moment to the moments that are to come into this life. And we look at a new little baby and we think, oh my goodness, got its whole life ahead of it. And we can playfully look at what the journey might be like for this little child, wishing upon it certain graces and virtues, just like those fairy tales, like the fairy godmothers and the fairy tales, and wishing the very best for these little sausages as they grow up. So it would be wonderful if we have a sense of our own self and our own journey in a way that supports our mind, our body, and our energy system. And so often we're just moving through our life journey with this idea that it must be a hurry up and do and pursue and achieve and accomplish and get things done so that we can say to everybody and ourselves, now, wow, wasn't that great? You see, I showed up and I did this and that, and I really fully accomplished it, and I have connected to my goals, and here they are, and I've achieved them. Isn't that marvelous? And for so many of us, that just doesn't seem enough. That sense of having to achieve this goal, there's something outside of us that's going to say when we get there, and we say that, when I get there, I'm going to be happy. When we get there, I'm going to feel like I've completed and I've done what I should have done. There will be the sense of fulfillment. But that's truly not what a journey is. The journey is to be in the moment by momentness of the journey and take the meander and adjust in all the ways that we can adjust so that we can be in that journey. When the road bends and turns, we move in that direction because that's where the road is taking us. It might be a little bit new terrain, it might be new places that we go to and things that we see and do, but that's the journey. And if we have a different frame of mind as we're thinking about doing a life journey, we will have a different way of holding ourselves in this life journey, a different attitude, a different belief system that could support us. So if you could just think about, this is a journey, this is your life, and it is a journey, and there's going to be a lot of stuff between the beginning and the end of you being here as a mortal being. But in fact, the journey doesn't stop, because after we've finished being here in our mortal form, there is a sense of us continuing in the hearts and the souls and the genetic material of those to still come. We continue, and whatever it is we create, those imprints, those thoughts, perceptions, and beliefs get carried on and pulled into the next and the next and the next generation. Now, wouldn't it be just so absolutely wonderful if we could be mindful of that, mindful of what it is that we're leaving as an impression for those generations still to come? How could my life journey look and be so that it could support life in the biggest picture and the biggest understanding of that? It's a whole different world to the idea of having to pursue and do. I must finish my degree, and then I must get a job, and then I must do that, and all these little accomplishments that we must do and achieve and complete. It becomes very hard for us to feel like we are being worthwhile in this life when suddenly something in life happens and we cannot accomplish, fully get that thing that we said I have to get so that I can move on with my life. When we have these short-term goals, these goals that are very reflective of a behavior or a space or a place, a validation, an accolade, when we have those set along our path and we don't accomplish it, don't achieve it for whatever reason, we are devastated and we feel like we're a disappointment. And the despair and the despondency and the panic the misery that comes into our awareness is so very real. We start to feel very depressed about the fact that we are not accomplishing, or we have missed the boat, or we've missed a step, and we think it's just going to crumble the entire path. Finding a more flexible way to be in the movement, in the journey of this life journey, will truly help and support us, with the end result being that our life, through its every step and meander and bypass and detour, that our life leaves an energy, a legacy of something that is different, something that leaves a sense that, oh my gosh, how wonderful it was to be able to have known this dear person, or to be told about the dear person who we cannot know, like through our parents telling us about their great-grandparents, if we are so blessed to have that. And then we understand their courage and their strength and their ability to persevere and do against so many odds. And we go, oh my gosh, yes, I've got their courage. I'm very courageous. I'm also very stubborn, and I'm also very determined. I've got fortitude and courage and strength in buckets and spades, because I had these incredible ancestors who found a way in the most terrible and treacherous times, and found a way to be here no matter what. How wonderful is that we know that there is a legacy that they left. I really don't care one jot about what it is they achieved and what they accomplished, because in this timeline it means nothing. Those accomplishments are not the accomplishments that we set for ourselves in this timeline. So if they didn't win awards and have a great big house with every single person in the home have a car, and bank accounts that were rolling and rolling, if they didn't have that, I don't feel less about myself. But I feel very good about the self that I am, with the inheritance of the energy that is so strongly connected to an energy of continuing a journey in grace and compassion and kindness, because that is what they left as a legacy, and it leaves an imprint so that we follow that. Should we desire, should it touch our heart and be our truth, then yes, we can move in that. When we are pursuing for an outcome, just hear the word outcome. It's something that's out there, something that we have to get there. We'll get there. I hear so many people say that, we'll get there. We're relying on something outside to say, yes, you are worthwhile, and yes, you've got there, and yes, you've managed to get all the way, and yes, you've accomplished this. But it relies on that thing that we seek to actually happen, and that's not really how life works. Sometimes the thing that we really want just doesn't happen. But we continue without that sense of being broken and useless when we have a higher awareness, a more mindful, more spiritual connection to what it is that we are moving our energy towards, that could be an imprint, a legacy for those who are to come. If we could change our way of seeing the way we pursue and do, and what we want to achieve and accomplish, and why is it that we are doing this? Why are we just driving ourselves so hard? What is it that you're actually trying to accomplish and achieve? And think about, if it is something outside of you, then you are going in the wrong direction, my love. Because everything outside of you is something that relies on a condition being met, a person coming into your life, or achieving or accomplishing great wealth or fame or status or whatever that thing is that you want so badly. And all of that stuff could be gone in a moment. We could have a great flood and poof, all of the stuff that you worked so hard for, gone. But if you were in the flood and you found your strength and purpose and courage, and you found your beauty, and you have found your ability to reach out and pull other people up and lift and motivate them and care for them and be kind, then you've got all the skills that you need for a journey that might very well be very turbulent. There's no guarantee of what this journey might look like. But we certainly can set ourselves up for more success, an outcome that is more in alignment with what it is that is of value to humanity. Think about that carefully. What is of value to humanity? If you are seeking this thing, this longing, this desire, if it is for the value of humanity, the goodness of what is to come, if it is something that could be passed forward generation after generation, even when they have forgotten your name, what a gift that would be for you to give. Wouldn't that be a life journey that is so worthwhile that you don't need your name, your status, and your stuff to say, oh, look how fabulous they were. All that stuff could crumble in a moment. Find the thing that says to you, my life is meaningful because I'm bringing meaning to my life. And the meaning that I bring to my life will be something that is of worth to humanity. Go into that next step. Take another step up into a much higher vibration. Not just your simple accomplishment for what it is that this one little person wants to get out of life. What is it that you will leave as a legacy? And really try to refocus and notice that when you do that, you settle down. All the pressure drops off you. And you start to steer your ship and steer yourself through this life journey in a different way. And you make a difference because you are different. And that's truly what we want to do, isn't it? I'm wishing you so much love. So wonderful talking energy with you. We can recalibrate, reconnect, and change our story. But it starts right here in our heart. One by one of us, just changing the story in our heart. Think about that for you. What could that be for you? How could you change your story just a little bit? Just tweak it and upgrade it. Still find your ability to pursue and do that. It's wonderful. But take it a little bit higher. Why? Why is it that you are so driven to show up in the world in this way? What is it that you are leaving as a legacy? So much love, my treasures. Thank you for you. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. Take care.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time.